Hi, and welcome to my Saturday stream and scream of Danganronpa. Does everyone really think I'm the killer? Well, yeah, it's kind of all the signs point to you, but how did it turn out like this? Seriously, they've got it all wrong. Why do they have to suspect me? I have to do something. Otherwise, everyone will...
Execution is... execution. Execution!
I can't let that happen. I can't let things turn out the way Monokuma wants. Wouldn't it be easier to let them think you were the killer, let them all vote that you did, get it wrong, and then they all got punished while you go free? No, that's not what he said would happen. What happens is, okay, so if they accuse somebody, right? Let me just repeat this in case anybody's confused at all about it. Okay, so let's say, for the record, Junko's dead, right? So she couldn't be the killer. So let's say that the killer is Junko, and she had survived to go to the trial, and we all did the investigations and came to the conclusion that me, main character Makoto, is the killer. And everyone says, guilty, guilty, guilty. And I'm like, no, it's not me, but it doesn't matter, right? I die, everyone who called me guilty died, and Junko would live because she got away with murder. See? All I have to do is find out who really did it, who really killed Sayaka. Woo! I guess I should look through the Monokuma file we got before. The victim was Sayaka Maezono. The time of death is estimated to be around 1:30 a.m. The body was discovered in Makoto's room, in the dormitory. All evidence suggests that the death took place in the bathroom. The cause of death was a stab wound to the abdomen. There was also an injury to her right wrist. Specifically, the wrist appears to have suffered a fracture. The wrist seems to have suffered a fracture. So... she could have been wielding the sword in self-defense. Then someone broke her wrist, knocking it out of the sword, which actually, I've taken kendo. Proves she doesn't know how the fuck to actually wield a sword, because broken wrist style would have actually protected her wrist from being broken like that anyways. But anyway, so she clearly didn't know how to wield a katana. Or, the other possible option was, she could have ran away, and her door could have gotten caught in, like, the bathroom door. And, no, that wouldn't make sense, because they wouldn't have slammed the door on her. They'd be trying to pull the door open, so that doesn't make sense. She would have had to slam the door on herself hard enough to have broken the door, and that wouldn't make any goddamn sense. Specifically, the wrist seems to have suffered a fracture. We have no choice but to push forward if we want to find out what happened. So I'm thinking maybe... I guess it all comes down to how diabolical we think Sayaka is, right? Okay, so alright. Okay, so let me back this up so you guys can follow my train of thought, because you guys don't usually I usually spin these thoughts when you guys are around, or, you know, silently to myself while I'm recording and stuff. Okay, so there's two options here, right? Sayaka was either a perpetrator or a victim. Now, if we think that Sayaka was a victim, if she's actually as innocent as she comes across, right? Then everything she told us was true. Someone did try and get into her room, did try and kill her before, but that means that person would have had to have witnessed the room trading. So did anybody seem not surprised about the whole comment that I made with the room trading? I didn't think so, but then again, I didn't really get to see everyone's reaction, so... In which case, someone broke into my room, or got in there somehow, or opened the... Why would she open the door, though? We told her not to open the door. Okay, so we'd have to check the door and see if there's been any damage to it. If they broke into the door, then she definitely was victim, right? In which case, she used the sword to defend herself. They fractured her wrist, disarming her. She ran into the bathroom. They attacked the bathroom door in order to get it open because they didn't know how to open it, right? Because it got stuck. That's why the door was burst down. Which means no one was hiding in the bathroom from Sayaka, at least, if it's the other option. And then they killed her. Which means it would have to be someone strong enough to break in a door as well. So it's probably a guy in that case. Or Sakura. Sakura's strong enough. Maybe Aoi, because she's a swimmer and she's athletic. But I don't know how reinforced the doors are. So that could be Sakura, but I don't think so. Now, the flip side of that, right, is Sayaka was a perpetrator. Alright? So she comes to us with this woo woo woo. No, they didn't pick the lock. See, because one, the door wasn't locked. The boys' restrooms don't have locks. Oh, they could have picked the lock to the bed. You're right. They could have picked the lock to the bedroom. In which case, it could have been Celeste, because Celeste seems like she's shady enough to be able to do that. But the boys' bathrooms don't have locks. That's why they had to be able to burst it down. And the fact that it sticks. So we don't know whether or not it's pickable or not. Actually, they said it was a lot of work in order to do a replacement key, because there's a lot of electronics and stuff involved into it too. There's like a chip or something in the key that has to go in with it at the same time in order to disengage it, right? So technically, no, they couldn't have picked the lock to come in. So they would have had to have been let in, which brings more proof to my second option. If Sayaka was a perpetrator, right? So follow me on this. She comes to our room and she gives us the wowsy wowsy woo woo treatment. Oh, somebody tried to do this. We have no witnesses that anybody actually tried her door at all, right? Oh, somebody tried to get me. Someone tried to attack me. I'm so scared and I'm such a victim in life. Could you please just be the brave man and protect me? To which case we're all like, oh yeah, why don't you come sleep here? And she's like, you want us to sleep here? Like boy, girl, boy, girl? To which naturally, Makoto, being the upright gentleman that he is, would be like, oh, no, allow us to switch. Alright, so we go into her room, she goes into our room. At which point, she then has already set up for someone to come visit. Right? Someone, I'm still thinking it's a guy, but it could be Sakura also. Someone strong, someone gullible. She's like, oh hey, come here. It'd have to be someone stupid too, because they would have to be unable to notice that the door says Makoto on it. They would have to be unobservant. So, could be a few other people there. So it's definitely not Byakuya, because he'd be smart enough to notice, I would think. If this is the train, right? And I don't think it would be Celeste. Celeste would notice. It wouldn't be, what was her name? Toyoko or something like that? I can't remember. It could be Sakura or Aoi. Could be Leon. Could be, oh god, the Fro guy. I forgot his name. I don't think it would be Toko. Toko actually seems smart, just cowardly. Byakuya. Byakuya? Byakuya. Byakuya. The K and the YU is one word. It should be Q. Q. So it's Byaku. Byakuya. Ah, shit. Now you've got me fucking obsessed with that. It's Byaku. Byaku. Q. Anyways, I can never remember his name, which is why I keep fucking it up. Is it Kia? Is it Kia or Q? It can't be Kia. There is no Kia. Kia doesn't exist. So it's Q. Byaku. Byaku. No, there is a Kia. I don't fucking know. God damn it, now you got me confused. Anyways, she invites them in, and then she wants to commit the murder there in Makoto's room so she can frame them, right? And then the only people who know they switched is her and Makoto. In which case she could be like, no, I was in my room the whole time. Right? And she would get away with murder. What she didn't count on is the fact that the person would overpower her. So then she runs. Dude or chick breaks down the door. Finishes her off. Maybe? That's thinking? Maybe? Somehow I have to find the truth. so that we can all survive. And for Sayaka, I have to find out how she was killed. Nice. Monokuma file number 1 has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Aren't you going to help investigate, Chihiro? But I can't leave Jinko here. I feel so sorry for her. I have to stay with her. No way! I seriously don't want to die here! I'm begging you! Kami-sama! Buddha, Mother God, God of Space, King Neptune, help me! I don't care who it is, just get me out of here! Hiro doesn't seem to be prepared to do any kind of investigation right now. Check the monitor! See if there's a coin. That's it! The monitor Monokuma always shows up on. There's gotta be a clue here. Or not. I'd better get back at the investigation. Okay. Leave the gym? Yes. But that's assuming the guy-girl she lured would chase her down and overpower and kill her. Someone who was tricked into coming there but had no intention of murder would probably just bolt out screaming about a crazy katana lady. That's actually not a bad point. I guess it would depend on how someone would deal with the situation, right? I should head to my room first. We won't make any progress without an investigation there. So I headed to my room where Sayaka's corpse still remained. I'd better examine the state of my room a little closer. That might reveal something new. Fucking hell! So the display stand the sword was on. There are scratches and gouges on my walls and bed. Is that evidence of a struggle? Yes, yes it is. And you should probably... I feel like there was some kind of fight in my room. Damn it, I was right in the other room. If only I'd heard something. That would not have been possible. Huh? Don't you remember? All of our rooms are completely soundproof. So something could happen right in the next room of you and you would have no way to know. Perhaps that was another one of Monokuma's strategies, creating an ideal setting for a murder. Evidence of a struggle has been added to the truth bullets. Okay. Don't touch it! It's a replica sword. Does this mean it was used in the attack somehow? And plus, the sword's been taken out, so it's just a sheath, but, There's some scratches on the sheath. They must have been made with something sharp. But how'd the sheath get scratched up in the first place? Because it was used in self-defense, probably. Even if someone used the sword during the struggle, it doesn't make sense for the sheath to be damaged. I mean, if you're gonna attack someone with a sword, the first thing you do is unsheath it. Okay! Heavy sheath like this would only get in the way. It could just slide off in the middle of a fight. So why are there scratches on the sheath? Because it was used as self-defense, which means the murder weapon, which is that knife that's stuck in her, that looks like, kind of like a butcher knife, actually. She would have had to have gotten it and brought it into the room. Right? Otherwise, she would have just used the katana. I would think. No. That doesn't really make sense. Well, The other option would be that the person brought the weapon with them, in which case they weren't thinking of murder, and it wasn't self-defense, and she was a victim, but then we're back to the same situation of why would she let someone in, and how would they know that she was in the other room? There's a key on the ground. Has my name on it, so this must be my room key. We gave it to her. Did she give it to someone else for some reason? When we switched room, we switched keys too. So Sayaka would have had the key here in my room the entire time. But if that's true, then how'd the killer get into the room in the first place? Exactly, they'd have to be invited in, right? Could Sayaka have forgotten to lock the door? No way, she was too fucking paranoid. Same goes for you, Sayaka. No matter who it is, don't open your door for anyone. Even if I'm sure it's you, I absolutely won't open it. Otherwise, what's the point of even switching? Yeah, like I said. After saying that, there's no way she would have forgotten to lock it or opened it for any reason. Maybe she dropped the key somewhere and someone else grabbed it or something. No, that's not possible either. Sayaka was in here when we switched rooms. With how scared she was, she wouldn't have gone walking around, so she couldn't have dropped it. Unless the whole thing was an act. She is an actor, right? Like, she's a pop star. They have to act all the time, and she has that mask. So how did the killer... Switching rooms has been added to the truth bullets. This is the replica sword I brought back for self-defense. Does this mean it was used in the attack somehow? And plus, it's been taken out of its sheath. I hadn't actually looked at the blade itself till now. I shouldn't be surprised that it's coated in gold too. On top of that, some of the gold coating has come off parts of the blade and the handle. Yeah, the handle especially is missing a lot of its coating. I remember the coating sticks to you even if you touch it just a little bit. So we need to look at everyone's hands, which is what I was thinking the very first time I saw the katana, by the way. When I saw it on the floor, I was like, well, if this was used, let's look at people's hands. Replica sword has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Huh? Looking at the lint roller, it looks like there's way less than before. Did Sayaka see how dirty my room was and decided to clean up a little? Or someone used it to remove gold. There are gouges in the bed like someone attacked it. What the hell happened here? A surveillance camera. The mastermind must be using it to keep an eye on everything that's happened here. They don't do anything to stop what's happening. They just keep on watching. What if you put a sheet over it? Then he will never know who actually committed the murder. Well, actually, I guess he would just have to do process of elimination at that point, right? The notepad is still here, but I don't think it's relevant right now. The toolkit is still inside the drawer. I don't see any evidence it's been used at all, which makes sense, I guess. I mean, it's mine, and I hadn't any reason to open it. I can't even imagine a situation where I need a toolkit like this. Yeah, seriously. Oh,
Why?
Mondo. We ain't exactly in the mood to be building fucking furniture, right? So you haven't used yours either, then? Not just me.
Why?
Nobody's busted theirs out yet, as far as I know. Actually, we were talking about it yesterday. None of the guys have opened their toolkits yet. Because, like, why the hell would we? Toolkit has been added. Oh, that counts as tampering? Well, to me, I don't consider that messing with the camera, so that would probably get me killed then. There are scratches and gouges on my walls and bed. Is that evidence of a struggle? This is one of the monitors. Right now, it's just showing the school crest. Thought the overturned table might be one of them, but guess not. Alright, let's see what Mondo has to say about anything.
By the way,
You know, I realized something while I was on guard duty. The killer could have already destroyed some evidence, right? Before anyone found the body, I mean. There's a trash room here in the dorms, right? They could have tossed some stuff in there. Yeah, definitely possible.
son of a bitch.
Tuh.
Dude, shit.
Anyone who raises their hand to a woman is scum that deserves death. As my brother taught me.
Dead.
Whoever find that son of a bitch who did this, I'm gonna pound his goddamn face in. But what if it was a girl that did it?
Yo.
That'll all get sorted out when the time comes. Sakura, do you think I'm guilty too? I'm not trying to make assumptions like that. I simply know whether or not you did this. Whatever decision the rest of you come up with, I will follow your lead. I see. Hey, Kyoko. I quietly called her name while she was investigating, but...
What are you doing? Isn't it obvious? No, not really. I'm searching.
Yeah, where is my trash can?
Searching?
She was down on her knees, carefully inspecting every
Did you
inch of my
lose a
room.
contact or something?
Wow, Makoto. I don't know what she's doing exactly, but she seems to be concentrating pretty hard on it. Can I play her instead? But a few seconds later, she suddenly stood up straight and said, "Are you a clean freak?" No, I don't think so, but what? Nodding, she glanced around my room one more time.
Let's see.
Interesting. I'm just curious why there's no gold, like, anywhere, all over the place. What's interesting?
Hey,
Just as I suspected, there's something very unusual about your room. Unusual? What do you mean?
so...
I've searched your floor from one corner to another, and there's no lint or gold! And I didn't find one single strand of hair. Oh. Really? Not one hair from the victim, not one hair from you, even though you've been living in here. You know, now that you mention it, I noticed something while I was looking around before. I looked at the lint roller in my room had been used, but I've never touched it. Could someone have used it to...
I see.
Very interesting. Your room didn't have a single hair in it, and someone used your lint roller without your knowledge. So it has to be someone that has very unique hair color. I'm already saying it's not Kyoko. She's just putting too much effort into this investigation for it to be her. Aoi has brown hair. Chihiro has kind of a lightish brown hair, right? Celeste has blue hair, so that definitely stands out. Leon has red hair, that definitely stands out. Junko's dead, so we don't have to worry about hers. Does the comic guy have... Yeah, he has black hair, doesn't he? As does the Ultimate Hall monitor, right? His hair is also black, I believe. And then Chihiro and Byakuya, right? God damn it. Byakuya. Has the same kind of roughly hair color. Celeste's hair is black. It looks kind of blue-black to me, but alright, I'll take you guys' word on that it's black. Sakura's hair is the same color as, like, Kyoko's. So white. My hair is brown. So it has to be a different color than brown, otherwise they would assume that it would blend in, right? They wouldn't be able to tell the difference between my hair and their hair. Gosh, I'm trying to remember everybody that's there. Really, the person who has the most standout hair is Leon. Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing that I was saying, Vinny. That the only hair that would really stand out is Leon's. And there's that lettering in the bathroom that looks like L-E, and then I thought maybe it was an O behind her, but then you guys told me it was help maybe backwards, which could also possibly be the case. But, in other words, someone other than you came in and scrubbed your room clean. Was it Sayaka? Or the killer?
Well,
that's the question, isn't it? Makoto's room cleanliness has been added to the truth bullets. Alright, let's go into the bathroom. The bathroom. And on the other side of this door... No, I can't let it get to me. I can't afford to freeze up now. Forcing myself to push my panic down, I stepped into the bathroom. Hi. Looking at her made it painfully clear it wasn't a dream or an illusion. She had lost everything that made her. Sayaka. All at once I was overcome with dizziness, nausea, and the urge to burst into tears. But I can't hesitate now. Why? Why did Sayaka have to die? I have to uncover the truth. I have to find out what happened. I wanted to give up. I wanted to collapse, but that thought held me and supported me. Okay. So, first things first, I'm dying to see this. I looked past Sayaka to the wall behind her, and there I saw... Ah! It says Leon! It says Leon right there! Written in blood with a number... No. How do you see 11037? I see motherfucking Leon. There's even a little line between the two, quote, ones to read Alright. Whatever. Did Sayaka do this? What? That doesn't become a truth bullet? It fucking reads Leon! Alright, whatever. I told myself I simply couldn't face what I saw, but no, no time to think like that. I pulled out the Monokuma file to verify what it said about her body. Some sort of sharp object had been thrust into her stomach. That must have been a killing blow. But what they used to kill her, where'd they get it? That's definitely something I should look into later. Also, according to the Monokuma file, Sayaka's right wrist is broken. Her wrist does look swollen and bloody. Ooh! And covered in gold! But there's something sort of glittery on her wrist, too. Right there where her wrist's all swollen, there's something glittery. That definitely concerns me. Another thing that concerns me is, there's blood on her left index finger, but that's it. The palms of both of her hands are totally spotless, so how come only her left finger? Because she was writing. And both of her hands are spotless, meaning she... Okay, so... She had to have brought the knife then into the room, right? Okay, so if she was going to kill somebody, right? she would have to... she would know that the sword would leave gold everywhere, right? Because she already knew about it. So she brought the little knife in there in order to plan on killing someone, invited them into her room, opened the door, attacked them. They defended themselves with the closest thing in hand, the katana, right? Slammed it on her wrist, knocked it off of her. She then ran into the bathroom, and in their rage or whatever, they slashed the bathroom door open with the katana, or with the little hand knife, got in there and killed her. The stab wound in her stomach is what killed her, so when she broke her wrist, that must have happened earlier on. I mean, how would her wrist get broken after she'd already been killed? So it's very possible she broke her wrist during the struggle. The killer attacked Sayaka in the main room, which is when her wrist got broken. After that, the killer cornered her in the bathroom, where they inflicted the deadly wound. That is true. It could be a ploy to incriminate Leon, and someone could have used her finger and dipped it in there and made it look like her writing it out. That's totally possible. But I would imagine, well, actually, the more and more you mention it, if it actually was Leon, well, no. If he left the room to clean the room to get rid of any hairs afterwards, he wouldn't have known that as she was dying, she wrote that on behind her.
It would seem...
You think it's bloody numbers too, Kyoko? Come on! I've never seen something written in blood before. It really was her final message, as if she wrote it with life itself. Do you often talk like an aspiring poet? But the numbers she wrote, what do they mean? 11037. I have no idea what it could possibly mean. The way she wrote the numbers makes me look like she wanted to use her body to block them. If she wrote them in that location while she was sitting the way we found her, it means she must have wrote them by turning only her hand towards the wall. If you were to write something in that position, do you know what the result would be? Upside down! You're not going to tell me?
Makoto.
You need to uncover the mystery of this case yourself. Otherwise, the case will end and you'll remain unconvinced. I have no idea what you're trying to say, but it's obvious that you're not going to tell me. It says Leon. Dying message has been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Oh yeah, I guess if it was Leon, the reason he didn't kill it because he was really dumb and thought it was dying numbers. Who the fuck could honestly think that's dying numbers? It sounds like Kyoko knows what Sayaka's dying message means, but honestly I have no idea. Oh, I know who I should talk to when it comes to number. So who else better to ask than the ultimate programmer? There's one other thing I wanted to talk to you about. Do you know how the door to your bathroom got broken? Oh, you mean how it gets stuck?
What?
It gets stuck? Yeah, I guess I'm the only one, but the door doesn't fit the frame quite right. When I first tried to use it, I thought it was just locked, but once you learn the trick, it opens no problem. Bathroom door frame has been added to the truth bullet section of your
Correct.
handbook. So the door doesn't quite fit the frame, huh? But actually, I'm referring to the broken doorknob. Huh? The doorknob?
That's right.
You didn't notice? Well, just try closing the bathroom door. I'm sure you'll see right away what I'm talking about. Oh, so that means it's someone who thought it was locked, not stuck. In which case, they wouldn't know that this was not a girl's room. Which means Sayaka would have... Okay, so we went to bed. Sayaka then would have had to... That's why she told us not to answer the door for anyone. Just in case something happened and something got fucked up in the plan. And they actually knew which room was which. She could have taken the little door things, the door signs off, and flipped them around. In which case he would have thought, or she, I need to keep an open mind about this, would have thought that this was a girl's room and that it wasn't stuck, that it was locked, in which case they need to break the door down. The doorknob. The doorknob is practically about to fall off. Why is it like this?
It would seem...
Someone must have used a screwdriver or something similar to unscrew it. Whatever it was, it's obvious this was intentional. What? It was intentional? Why would someone want to do that? I guess maybe they were trying to get the door unlocked and ended up breaking the whole thing. So let's check everyone's toolkit. But my bathroom doesn't have a lock on it. Only the girls' bathrooms can lock, right? She stood there for a while, lost in thought. Then apparently struck with a sudden realization, she shot a question
Just
at
a
me.
second.
I have just one more question for you. You mentioned earlier that your bathroom door would get stuck, right? Did you tell anyone about that? Oh, I told Sayaka about it last night when we switched rooms. So what you're saying is only you and Sayaka knew about it. Interesting. She had the slightest hint of a smirk on her face. I got the sense that she was really starting to get into all this.
See.
Then that clears that up. Huh? What clears what up? I'm so lost. Well, see you later. As if forgetting I was ever even there, she suddenly turned and left the room. Bathroom doorknob has been added to the truth bullets. I still don't really understand any of this, but I've already given my room a good once over. Maybe I should look around elsewhere. I should start looking at where the murder weapon might have come from. Also, I should look into the DVD Sayaka got. With Sayaka dead, I have no choice but to see for myself what was on that video. And on top of that, I'm sure there are some other areas worth checking out too. Maybe I should see what everyone else thinks, if they'll even talk to me, that is. Do you have anything new?
By the way,
Alright.
you son
So, yeah, I'll go to the trash thing
You're
for
fucking
Sharesies.
dead.
Speaking of, it's getting kind of late, Rue. Don't you want to take a break? Oh, shit! It's 4:23! I completely lost track of time. Thank you so much. You are completely right on this. I should go ahead and call this here. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and save here, and we will pick up with our investigation, checking the rest of the school. Thank you so much for watching, and give it a thumbs up when it goes up on YouTube. I greatly appreciate it. And thanks, you guys. Alright. Bye, bye, bye. Oh. Okay. Am I not supposed to go over there? Who's that child?